Welcome to Krackpots We Met Downstairs, brought to you by Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio, with special thanks to Funny Noise Bookings in Massillon, Ohio, and shout out to Dindamo's Unique Chocolates, which can be found at Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio. I keep forgetting to introduce myself because I already know who I am, but you don't know who I am, so I need to remind myself that, like, hey, you need to introduce yourself to the masses. My name is Rebecca Marcoulin, I am your host, and today we have Kevin Whelan from Cleveland.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rebecca.
All right, Kevin, you just performed on stage.
Yes.
We got you up here, we're running upstage, we're going to do a podcast. Explain the vibes. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good because I did new stuff today. And anytime you do new stuff and get a single laugh or any laughs off of it, you feel good. So I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty calm and like tonight was a success. So
nice.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about like when you're trying new things or like what's kind of your writing process when you're looking at jokes and you're building material?
Well, what I do is I usually collect ideas. I'm usually scribbling down ideas all the time, and then I'll take maybe a couple of weeks. And I'll say, well, let's see what I've written over the last couple of weeks, and I'll just make a title list, and I'll make a list of about 10, 15 jokes that I think are decent that I want to try out. Like I did tonight, I made a list of 10, 15 jokes, and I took maybe 3 of them that I wanted to try. And so I just kind of worked on those, typed them out, and got them a little more honed, went through them a couple times, and gave it a shot. So yeah, it's kind of a fun process. That's the only thing I'm ever organized about is material. Everything else in my life is just nuts, but material's pretty spot on.
I feel that at the core of my being. That is just like baked into my bones. I am so organized for like my work and stuff.
Yes.
Everyone is so impressed with all of my like folders and all this other stuff. And they're like, "Well, Rebecca, you're so cool." And I'm like, "No, do not come to my house. You do not want to see my bedroom. You do not want to see the disarray I live in on a regular basis."
So they think you have OCD or something like that, just from your work, and then they say, "Oh no, that's just how I am with my work." Yeah.
Well, it could be if you're putting all your energy into the work stuff, and then you come home and I'm just like, I just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I used all of my brain power writing a script. No more thinking tonight. Only snoozing.
Exactly. Once the creativity's burnt, you're done.
Yeah. So here at Krackpots We Met Downstairs, we know that a lot of people who get interviewed, they get the same interview questions over and over again, and that's boring and no fun. So I'm gonna try to ask you a question that you've never been asked before.
All right.
I'm gonna see if I can do it. Okay.
Lay it on me.
Would you rather perpetually step on Legos for the rest of your life or have every meal you eat feel like shards of glass?
Oh, I think I'd rather step on Legos, personally. Yeah, because I think eventually my feet are going to get calloused. And plus I've had 3 boys, and my 3 sons have already made the bottom of my feet and my groin pretty callous with all the knees and elbows and everything flailing and all the stuff I've stepped on. So yeah, but I like food, so I wouldn't want that to be all nasty. So yeah, take my feet, don't take my stomach.
Don't take your stomach, don't take your tongue. For me, it's the tongue.
Oh yeah,
like if it feels like shard of glass, it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't think your tongue can build calluses.
Yeah, no, it's just going to bleed and hurt and lose your taste buds.
Stepping on the Legos. Okay, did I stump you?
Yeah, for a second I was like, I don't know what I'd rather do, my God. But then I thought of the kids. I'm like, oh yeah, Legos, I'll take the Legos. Yeah.
So I did it, I meet my goal. No one's ever asked you that before?
No one's ever asked me that.
Nice.
No.
I win. Awesome. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about your family, about your kids? I know you just mentioned you have 2 boys.
I got 3 boys.
3 boys.
3 boys, yeah. My oldest is 27, going to be 28 next month, and then I've got a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. So yeah, they're pretty spaced out. I talk about that in the act a little bit. One in high school, I've got one in middle school, and the other one out on his own, living life, being free. Okay.
So how did you balance like raising your kids while going into stand-up? Was stand-up like, how long have you been doing stand-up? Did you have to go on hiatus for a bit while you were raising some of your kids? Like what's going on with that?
I've been doing it 28 years, so I've been doing it about 6 months longer than my oldest son's been born. I went on stage 6 months before he was born. Luckily, I put the needle in and got addicted to comedy. And, my first time on stage was fantastic. I killed, and then I bombed for the next 6 months straight. I don't think I got another laugh until, I started in June. I never got another laugh until December, I think. So then he was born in December. So it was just, I kept going in and coming back. All right, I got tonight I can go, that sort of thing. And then, so for about 5 years, it was like that. And I started getting booked and getting paid, and then I went full-time for a couple of years. So that was tough. So that's when I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be on the road 40 weeks. I can't do this, not with the kids. So once I had 2 and 3, that's pretty much when I pulled back and just stayed regional. I still work Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, PA, all that stuff. But yeah, for the most part, it's I teach, I do this at night, and I host trivia 4 nights a week too. So it's It's a 3-legged stool.
Okay. Wow. That's so cool. What are the trivia nights like? So are you like you're hosting it, so are you like answering the questions? Are you giving out the questions?
I give out the questions.
Prizes or
I write the questions and then I host it. So I ask the questions. They all write them down, give them back to me. They have their little answer sheets, not even on the phones or anything like that. People like to do it face to face. And we give out prizes at the end of the night for just gift cards or something like that. And in fourth place, I have this thing called the bag of mediocrity. If you land in fourth place, you get whatever it is, and they're like ramen noodles or Natural Light or something like that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that you're giving people things for fourth place.
Oh, yeah,
most people don't get it's 1 through 3. I like that you guys added a fourth. I think that's funny.
Yeah, it is
that's
fun.
Cool.
It's fun. I gave out a Loretta Lynn vinyl record, I think, last Thursday. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, an old one from 1972.
That doesn't sound like something you'd give it to fourth place.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, but Neil Diamond's greatest hits or something like that. Yeah, some old vinyl. That
doesn't sound like a fourth place prize to me. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, it is. When you see it, you'll know it.
Okay, so it's not like a mint condition record. No. It's been played.
I bought it for $1. Yeah. We don't go more than $3, I think, on the bag of mediocrity.
That's funny. $3 total or $3 per item?
Per item.
Per item.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much would it be total usually? Does it range between like?
It's usually right around anywhere from $150 to the one I did the other day was the dinner and movie package where I bought a can of Manwich for $1.50 and I found a South Korean martial art film for $2. So there we go. Boom. $3.50. Here's your dinner and your movie. And some younger people want it, and they actually going to have a night where they make Manwich and watch that movie.
Hey,
awesome.
if they were college kids, that Manwich is going to be mighty handy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So it's fun. it's another one. It started out as one night, and now it's become a business and a supplemental income, and it's great. I'm working like a nerd, but I can't stop. So.
Well, what do they say? They say love what you do, and you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
You seem to really enjoy doing the trivia night, so maybe is it really work?
It's not. I really enjoy it. I like to do more stand up if I could. I'm fairly busy at that still, but not as enough as I want to be. But between that and teaching, and the kids at home and everything, I got plenty going on. So.
Yeah.
I'm content.
So how long have you been a teacher?
I only went back, and I'm a full-time substitute. I'm not a full-time teacher. I didn't even know there were full-time subs. I went back during COVID. It was right around 2020 when everything crashed and burned with comedy. So I went back to teaching then, and I've been in the school district since then. So 5.5 years.
Did you teach before that?
Yeah, I had a degree. I had a degree in teaching and education way back in the 90s, but I never used it.
Oh, okay.
After student teaching, I was like, I had a bad class. I didn't like it. I went into HR for 7-8 years, something like that, maybe 10. Did stand up all through that, but I was just a little bit everywhere until I went back into teaching. Done a lot of stuff. I've been all over the place.
Dang, so were your classes that you had when you came back any better than the student?
Yeah, I just can handle it better because I'm older now.
Okay.
It's one thing to be 24, and it's another thing to be almost 50, and it's like, all right, I can handle it, I just bring it on. I can handle it.
I have 3 boys.
Yeah,
you don't faze me.
I've been there, I've done that, come on.
Are you working with like high schoolers or grade schoolers? Or
usually middle school, but middle school, high school.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll go back and do a grade school and everything like that. That's kind of fun. You go back and do a second grade, like, oh, they're innocent, isn't that cute? I remember that. And then get back to middle school, it's like, it's when they're horrible. But
what's the worst thing that happened at the middle school?
This is funny. That my first day on my first job, my first class, my first 5 minutes, 2 of the biggest guys in school got into a fight. I was in the bad room, we'll say. And these 2 guys, both of them 6'5", just went after it. 8th graders, 6'5", 8th graders. And I was the guy in the middle. So I had to force these guys off. I had to yell for another teacher to come in to restrain the other guy. So that was my first day. And that was the craziest thing that's happened. Wow. I had another student run up and get in my face one time and tell him he was going to kick my ass. But that didn't happen. He didn't do that. So.
The kid or the teacher?
The kid.
The kid, okay.
Yeah, because I told him to stop throwing a ball at someone's face. I was covering for the gym teacher.
Oh, wow.
So, he didn't like that. So, just crazy. It's crazy. The antics.
I'm picturing like 6'5" 8th graders.
Oh, it's crazy.
To do that.
I didn't even know they existed until I went in there. And you guys, see, listen to me. Pointing up at them,
Wow.
Yeah. They're big.
Well, 6'5" is big for anybody.
Oh yeah,
that's big for. That's a big human.
When you're 14 or 15, you think, wow, they're probably still going through puberty. Are they going to be 6'7", 6'8"? Where's this end?
Yeah. So you said you're a substitute. Is there a subject that you like to teach more than other ones? Or is it just you just kind of float around and like, as long as I'm working, I'm okay?
No, I like social studies and English. Those are my specialties. They're just, I like the kids that like to write and, the ones that like history and all that stuff. So those are my favorite. But I do basically everything. So I've covered every class and every grade, kindergarten through 12. Yeah, mostly just, I stick with social studies. Sometimes I'll do foreign language, things like that. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you do so when you're subbing for a class that you're like, do the teachers give you busy work? Do they expect you to teach a lesson? Like, what goes on with that?
Well, it's funny, in grade school they expect you to teach a lesson. You'll go in there and you'll have a stack of lesson plans that are about a foot high.
Uh-huh.
And at a high school it'll be a post-it note. Have them go into Google and Google Chromebook, but grade school, yeah, I've taken them on field trips, all kinds of stuff. I'm like, really?
Wow.
I'm getting on a bus at 11 o'clock? What's this? So a little more unpredictable in grade school.
Well, what are the field trips like when you're subbing?
Well, it's not too bad. I've only done little kids, so we've gone to like museums and things like that. So it's not too bad. You just got to keep them in line. That's all. And kids are pretty good about it. They shush each other. Guys, stop it! We're being loud. It's like, oh, isn't that nice? That doesn't last for more than I think past third grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind the field trips. They're kind of fun. The kids like to be out and everything, so it's fun. I don't mind. It gets me out of the classroom. I told you I was going to be a boring interview, didn't I? I'm sorry, I'm just tired. It's Friday.
You're doing great. I think you're doing a great job. You're answering all of my questions. I mean, that's all right.
And you got a lot of energy for doing the film fest. I mean, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Was that a few days last weekend?
Last weekend,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was...
You recovered.
Yeah, I recovered. It took me... I recovered. I was fully recovered by Wednesday. I was okay.
That's so much fun, though. To have that kind of fuel where you're just working like that.
Yeah.
Just in it.
Yeah, it was a great time.
How many people were on the project?
That's a good question. I don't know the exact. But we have an amazing team. Like, it was great. We have a group chat.
Nice.
And then there are people who we have like a big like pool of people that we like have, and then sometimes because not everybody can make it to every project. It's just kind of how it is. I love the people I work with.
Oh, that's great.
It's awesome.
Nobody ever says that.
No, they're
some people do. I like the teachers I work with. They're great.
Yeah. Well, I think when you have people who have the same passion that you do,
yes,
and they're able to, because some of us, I'm an editor, so my big thing is, is like, give me the footage. But then when you have people who are the cinematographer and the lighting guy and director and producers, and like you have everybody else who know what they're doing and put as much passion into it that they feel for their, roles, and I feel for an editor, it's like, oh, by the time I get the footage, I'm like,
oh yeah,
and it's like, there's
you
not
gotta cut somebody's baby or something.
Yeah. Well, we do have to trim it down depending, because there's like a time limit that we have to meet. So it's once we have everything, in order, we have especially this last time around, this last one, we had to cut like 45 seconds of it at least, which is a lot for a short film. But I'm like, well, the director's cut is done. we got the director's cut in the can. Now let's trim this down so we can get something to turn in.
45 seconds. It's, people might think, oh, that's nothing. No, it is. That's tough when you're.
It's a lot when you've got like it was a 7-minute limit.
Oh,
yeah, so we had to be under 7.
Wow. Yeah.
And 7:45.
Man, did you have a lot of debate over that, or was it just you going, all right, here's the best place to do that?
Me and the director, I would do the editing. We had a PA that took like notes on the script, thank God. They did here are the best takes, or so I pulled that footage out, put it on the timeline in chronological order. I said, hey, Jake, take a look at this. Let me know if you want me to take a different take before I start chopping up and, before I start editing it.
Yeah.
So he cleared all the takes that I took. So then I started editing. Once I got the full thing done, I said, yo, what's the time limit we need? He's like 7. I'm like, okay, we're at 7:45, so let's watch this and see what we can cut. So we watched through it, and then we were kind of once we watched through it all, we looked at it a couple of times. We were kind of thinking about it and kind of discussing amongst ourselves. We went on our way to Sheets to get food, because we were it was 2 in the morning, 2 or 3 a.m. and we were hungry.
Break it up a little bit. Yeah.
There's no one. They were like, place you can go is Sheets at 2 in the morning. But yeah, so we're talking. Oh, I think I can trim down this scene a little bit. I think we can get rid of this shot. Condense this a bit. So yeah, I got it down to 6:50 50 something.
Wow.
So,
holy crap.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you have you done that more than once, the 48
Oh
hour
yeah,
film
I
test?
worked with. I've been doing 48s since I was in college.
Oh wow.
So I
That's
actually
awesome.
I interned with the director Jake Cole. You can find him on YouTube at Jake Cole Films, and you can like check him out if you want to. plug. But anyway, yeah, I interned with him when I was in Kent State.
Nice.
And then once I graduated, I kept working with him, and then once I graduated, I'm still working with him. So now we're kind of like,
It's great.
yeah.
Yeah, God, they keep that creativity going. I mean, it's so great to work with, that's the thing, I've been doing this 28 years, and a lot of people have quit, that my friends and over the years and stuff like that. It's great to have something to pull you through. I'm one day probably not going to teach anymore, but I'll still be doing this. I'm still want to get up, I want to write something, I want to perfect it, I want to, put it up on the stage and see how it works. And it's nice to have something like that every day. We're not just going in and, doing the same thing every day, pulling a lever or whatever, just to have a little something that has possibility to it. That's what I like about doing comedy is, what am I going to come up with today? What's good? What's the crowd going to be? What's this venue going to look like? Not a lot of people like going into a place where there's that much unknown.
Mm-hmm. But I think the unknown is what kind of that's like the pull. That's the draw.
Right.
You know what I mean? I actually mentioned this in another interview. I had done this a little bit in college. COVID hit, world shut down. I was on hiatus for about 4 years, and now I'm back. And in those 4 years, like it got to a point where it's like I couldn't watch any like stand-up clips, people performing stand-up online, or like if there was a TV show and they had like a stand-up like bit going on, like I had to turn it off. It's made me too upset.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
like,
wanna be on the
look what I
stage.
left behind. Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was like, I want it to be me.
Yeah, the
So-
longest I've taken off in 20 years is 4 months. It's the longest I've been off. That's when I said, all right, I'm going to focus on, I think I was working at a company, I'm going to focus on this. And 4 months is all I could take before I started getting, crazy. Started going nuts, like, all right, I got to get back on stage. So weird, in a way, it's like I almost wish I didn't have it. I wish I would have just aspired to be an accountant, and that was that.
I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was a kid.
That's practical.
I don't know what happened, honestly. Because my dad, actually, I was driving. We were in the car once. I think I was in like high school at the time, and I had told him that I wanted to be a vet when I was like 5. And then I guess he never got the memo of me wanting to switch to be in
Oh, he's sticking with it.
So he was driving a car. He's like, "You're gonna be a vet, right, Rebecca?" And I'm like, actually, maybe not.
That dream was a decade ago, Dad. I haven't kept up with you in that long.
It was funny. It
Yeah.
was funny though. I do love animals though. I love animals.
Well, that's good. You love them even more now because you're not working with them every single day. So maybe
Well,
that's, I don't know.
I don't know if it's necessarily not working with them every day, but here's the thing about the veterinarian. One, I'm not very good at math. I don't want to be like, ooh, girls are bad at math. No, there are plenty of women who are excellent at math.
Well, my wife is, yeah.
I'm just not one of them. And I can do like the basic, like, all the basic calculations and whatever. I started to get the hang of it in like middle school was where I really was like getting better grades and I was doing better. But then like in high school, they switched to like the Common Core method, like fully.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, well, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh,
I
man.
can't. I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here.
Right.
And it was frustrating because the kids who used to come to me, because it got to the point where like I had kids, I was like low key like tutoring other students. So like, because I would understand it and I would do the lesson, and then these kids would come to me. They'd be like, Rebecca, we don't know what's going on. Like, can you help me with this? And then I would be
Nice.
tutoring them like just in the free time in between class. But it was like it got to a point where it's just like I don't know. They're like, Rebecca, how do we do this? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know how we do this.
That's
So,
frustrating.
yeah.
That's frustrating.
So-
I've been in situations like that where I couldn't help somebody, because of that very reason. It's like, is that how you do it now? I
Yeah.
didn't know. Let me relearn it.
So yeah, but I think the other thing with like kind of like working with animals and working, I guess even in like the medical field, working with people is like sometimes they don't get better.
Right.
And it's sad. It's part of the job.
Right.
It is what it is, but it's also like, I don't know if I can have that.
You gotta let your heart turn cold over the years,
Yeah.
No.
I kind of turned this into a dark corner. Let's say something positive. So tell me something positive, Kevin.
Something positive.
Spin this around.
Well, it's Friday. It's a good night. We both got to perform, even though it was a smaller audience, but they were still fun. They were a nice
Yeah, they
little
were
crowd
great.
and a lot of enthusiasm. So that's good. It's always nice to get on stage, get in front of people, and tell them your thoughts. So that's good. That's positive, right?
Yeah, there was a good crowd.
Yeah.
I liked them. I think they were they're pretty receptive to all of us. I think they were, they're ready to have a good time. They're ready to laugh.
Yeah.
So when
especially after we left, they were ready to laugh. I think. Kidding for the
We're
listeners.
just warming them up. We were warming them up for the headliner, for the main guy.
Crucial part of the show.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So
the warm up.
I think it was good though.
Yeah,
I think
it was. They were fine.
Yeah.
You always you always want to go in there and see 200 people, but as long as they're listening, that's all that matters.
Right.
I have an appreciation for just anyone who listens after doing middle school, so I'll take it.
I've never worked with kids, but I get that.
Oh yeah. What'd you say? Never mind. Do what you're gonna do.
Do the thing I asked you to do. What did you ask me to do? I don't know. What did I ask you to do?
5 times. Yeah. It makes you sound like a parent, which I am. So just do it constantly.
Do you think being a parent helped kind of prep you for going back to this, working in the schools?
I think so, yeah, because I went back. They needed subs, and that's one of the things that drove me, to do it. Is they needed subs. I think I just got laid off at my job, so I was like, all right, this is a nice transition. I'll go back and do this. So yeah, I went back. I think to my kids' grade school at the time, and then went to middle school, and now I'm just everywhere. So district sub, whatever they call it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
all
that's
right,
great.
Kevin. Well, looks like we have to wrap up this episode. It's about that time. Do you have any plugs that you want to add? Anything you want to promote?
Well, if there's any readers out there, I got a book called Stacking Hassles. It's available on Amazon. It's $20. It's just a material book. It's a bathroom reader. It's about 250 pages. Go out there on Amazon. Stacking Hassles is the name of that. And my website is kevinthecomic.com. You can see where I'm going to be playing next and all of that.
Right,
that's all I have to say about that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming, Kevin.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. Appreciate
you can't see it because it's just audio, but we're shaking hands.
We are. I can confirm it. Nice handshake.
So, thank you. I get that a lot. Everyone compliments me on I have a firm grip. Anyway, so if you guys are interested, Kevin performs here at Krackpots. I have gone up on stage on Krackpots. If you would like to come to a live performance, check out our schedule at crackpotscomedyclub.com. You can peruse, see which shows strike your fancy. And we are actually recording in an abandoned, not abandoned, it's an old radio station. We have reclaimed the radio station. It is no longer abandoned, but we're recording right above Krackpots Comedy Club, and we're in one cubicle right now, but we have kind of other cubicles that are open for recording. So if you have a podcast you would like to record, or anything that you want to film or something, and you need a place to rent out a room for a few hours, reach out to funnynoisebookings@gmail.com, and you can get more information on that. And while you come to a live show, if you decide to come to a Friday or Saturday show at Krackpots Comedy Club, tell them Rebecca sent you, and you'll get $5 off your check. And while you are here at Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio, check out Dinda Mo's Unique Chocolates. She's got her own little booth. She's got a little thingy. It's right up front of the club. You'll find it. You'll see it when you see it.
Smell the chocolate.
Yes, you will smell it. And also, while you're here, part of Dinda Mo's Unique Chocolates we have on the menu is Pigs in Mud, which is a little brownie that's shaped like a piggy, and then it's covered in chocolate syrup. The brownie is coated in chocolate, and then there's chocolate syrup on that. It's so good, you guys. You need... Order it. Order it when you come here. I'm telling you, it's so good. Take a look at it.
You can't deny it when you see it.
No, you can't. You can't. I've had it before. I've had it. It's so good. Alrighty. That's it. That's the outro. Bye.
See ya.